Hello, everybody. It is I, the real Randy Chavez. We're going to wait a minute because apparently the first 15 seconds people don't really see. But everyone, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dachi. Hello, Dachi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. And then anything else, if you'll comment, I'll get to it eventually after I go over the news. The news might be a half hour or more, though. We'll see. So we'll start off with the OMI. OMI on the day is actually up 2.2%. It was maybe about a month ago where OMI was at the 00055, and we were like barely in the top 300. We were like number 295, 299. And then we've had a couple little ups and downs. We get a little pump, go down a little bit, little pump, go down a little bit. Generally, in the last month, we have been getting a little bit higher of the lows. I mean, in general, the last couple of years, it's been trading downwards and sideways. But this has been the triple zeros, I think, since 2022, late in 2022. But this is I don't want to say signs of life, because obviously we've still been breathing, doing whatever, but signs that, hey, most people know kind of what's going on if they watch my content, if they pay attention on Twitter. And I've seen a bunch of whales that have never really gotten into OMI before, like, okay, I'm in. Buying 120 million in a week, buying 150 million in a month. Like, there's plenty of whales that I know that haven't gotten into OMI before because they wanted to wait for stuff to happen, and stuff's starting to happen. And it's really just a couple of these guys going and like me, I'll buy a little bit every now and then. And I said that in February I'll get to 180 million. I'm at 178 now, and I want to, but I don't know if I can because I was kind of thinking that we'd be around 00061, maybe 00065. But now we're at 00071, and I think in the next week or so, 2 weeks, when I'm ready to buy another million, I might only be able to buy like 800,000 because we're at 7.1. We might go to 7.5, might go to 8. I don't know where we are. I'd like it. I was talking with a buddy of mine yesterday, talking about like, hey, it'd be great if OMI stayed down here for like another 5 months. It was like, well, when Crypto Rain talks about narrative, that narrative might not come for the end until the end of the year. It might not come till next year. We don't know. But I will say that again, my estimations for everything kind of coming together are in Q2. Do I think everything's going to happen and will immediately rise April 1st? No. But I do think that we've already had a couple of things happen. We've already had I mean, soft staking, for more MCP points last year, yeah, sure, we got that. For bronze tickets, in January, sure, we got that. April 1st, we'll get something else, whatever season 2 is. But we also have the article from Akomi saying like, hey, we have OMI to NFT coming. We have different ways for you to access OMI, meaning likely exchanges and then likely on the web app as well. And then you also have, because I mean, right now it's the team knows it's a pain in the butt for anyone to take their OMI from layer 1 and migrate it and bridge it over to layer 2. Thank you, Potsy Weber. I know we keep saying we have to hang out. We really should hang out like soon. I mean, I'll be more in the city, later this month, just because of the Stealing Manhattan movie that I am in. I don't know if we've talked about it. We haven't caught up in a spell. It's been a while. But yeah, we really should do that. Shoot me a text. But the team knows it's really hard for us to go from layer 1 to layer 2. So, okay, what's the best way to keep OMI on the app and have it burning? Whether it's OMI to NFT, OMI to gem, OMI to accessory, or OMI to bronze ticket, then bronze ticket to accessory, from MCP points. That's going to be, they're not going to go and give us MCP points, which they rolled out. They kind of low-key gave us that MCP utility without any real announcement. They just said, it's here, here's what you do, and we'll figure it out as we went along. There was pretty much no bugs that first day, which was wild. Everything kind of went like right there. Well, 25 million. Potsy Weber, you need to dollar cost average, my brother. We will talk, and we will talk. Not this. I can't this weekend. I can't next weekend either. I'll be in a faraway land next weekend. Yeah, we need to talk soon. I might be able to do it on the 24th. 24th, we might be able to do. Yeah, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, whatsoever. Anyway, the what I'm trying to say is that even if we start getting stuff in March, which is really the bulk of where I'm going to try to buy, because obviously in April we have taxes, tax season's coming up, and we all need to pay it. I went back to work last year. I'm going to need to pay some taxes. So you're going to have a couple of different ways of this playing out. One of the ways it could be that we just slowly rise from here, and every month we get up, 0.0001. So in maybe this month we get up to 0008. In March we get up 0009, and maybe we wipe out, a zero in April. Now, is that actually mooning? Is that taking us to a whole new level? Yes and no. I mean, it'll go from costing 55, $550 for a million to 1,000 for a million. And if you're trying to stack big numbers, that's really hard to do. So what me and Buddy were saying, like hoping it stays down here in the mid triple zeros while we stack. That's great, especially because other stuff is going to run. Have a little bit of flow, have a little bit of bump, and be advised, guys, that I'm in charge of a $100,000 fund for someone, and they do not want OMI, not because they don't believe in OMI, but because they already have so much. Like the people that are in this fund that I'm in charge of is they already have hundreds of millions of OMI. So, what does that tell you? That tells you that the new whales that are coming in are one thing that they've never, gotten before, and they'll eat up a couple hundred million OMI on their own. And then you have these older whales that have just been dollar cost averaging for quite a while. And again, you at some point you're going to have this squeeze, this inflection point where, hey, I need more OMI in my app for MCP points. I need X, Y, and Z, and there'll come that inflection point where they can't get it from the circulating supply because literally like a third of it is pretty much locked up. You have 30 billion from David, 30 billion from Dan. There's another big whale that has like 30 billion that's going to hodl for a long time. And then you have like there's most of the people that have a billion OMI or so, we know who they are in the higher levels of kind of whale talk. We kind of know who they are. Only really two of them are uh, kind of depressing the price. And I've realized I've gone on for almost 8 minutes about this, and I have a bunch of news to get to. But just be advised that we might not go back down to 000055 again. I hope we do, so I can go and get a lot more. But this kind of could be our new low, and we might not go below here again. Um, Again, we'll see what happens. And just because I say that, does that mean we're going to moon tomorrow or April 1st? No, but I do think in Q2 that all comes together. I think late Q2, early Q3, we really start moving because then you have the exchanges, and it's not just the announcement. Like you have them likely for you have people that will say, like, okay, now that we have this, I'm going to go and move some money around, some XYZ. I'll do this, and then it might take them a month or so. Like let's say they've never done this before, they have to go and wire something to Coinbase. Well, the first time you do it, it takes like 7 days, and people are just delayed. Um, I mean, if you're coming in from like not a Web3 standpoint, and you're just coming in from classic investing, I saw someone on Twitter before saying, "What's the best way, fastest way to get money from my bank account to buying crypto?" I mean, for me, I just told them, "Hey, what we're gonna do is just have just wire it to Coinbase, and then you could use that to Coinbase Wallet. You do the MetaMask, wherever. Generally, that's going to be the quickest, unless you have somebody that just has so much crypto. It's like, listen, I'll take, give me 70 cash. We'll do this, and they do that OTC deal, which is fine. Um, but yeah, I would say you're going to have a lot of that in Q2 and maybe even Q3. Moving on here, we'll go over some of the. So one of my whales, not really. I mean, I guess I advise him on a couple things. Um, he has a lot of OMI. He just purchased a bunch. He's level 81. He has over 2.5 million points. 4,600 comics, 1,100 collectibles, and this person has multiple one of one artworks. I won't say who it is, but um it's somebody that nobody really knows who they are. And again, with this, you have You have this guy named Mr. Uncanny X-Men #1. He probably represents, I'm going to say, 15% of people that are out there, because again, not everyone, uh, you know, not everyone that's interested in Vivi and Comey watches me. You have, I try to be as well rounded as I can, saying, okay, guys, I'm a master collector. I have all of these different collectibles. I study the market probably more than anyone, because that's just what I do. And so I try to get people to listen to me for that. And then obviously, most people probably listen to me just because of OMI. But again, that's not everyone. There's people that will listen to other, like, people have their own favorite YouTubers, which is fine. I don't think people, for the most part, have notifications on for Vivi and Akomi and all these influencers or whatever. I get super lucky that people like, hey, what do you think about this? And that makes it into the show. But you have Arjun, Mr. Uncanny X-Men 1 saying, did they confirm again that OMI is deflationary? So someone like that probably checks in, once every couple weeks or once a month. But there's people that still don't know that OMI is going to be deflationary, that are just like, hey, they have some VV, they have some OMI, and they just, they kind of check the pulse once in a while. So I think you're going to get a third set of people that, have just kind of been patiently waiting. I talked to my friend Juan before. Uh, there's a couple of people that I know that are very influential, that have a lot of money, and they check in with me, like him. I check in, like, he's a good friend. I should really call him more, but we talk maybe like once every other month. A couple times a quarter. And it's like, hey, how's it been? We haven't talked about this in a couple months. Like, yeah, yeah. So, and then I told him all the stuff we're doing. I was like, wow, like, and the price is still down, even though they had all these major nows. Like, yes, yes. Um, and then obviously, part of that, what people get, is just my own interpretation of things, because you could have three separate events happen. Just from one event, you could have 18 different looks at it. What could happen. Um, so you have a bunch of these people that have been in and they're semi-active, and then they see what's happening. Okay, hey, I'm gonna go. And again, he doesn't even check the price of always, like, how much is like 5 grand? I was like, well, to make it simple, about 7,000 would be 10 million, 3,500 would be 5 million. It's like, okay, maybe I can squeeze together another 35, 3,500, 5 grand, whatever, to get like another 5 million. He didn't have a ton. He doesn't have like hundreds of millions. I think he has like 50, 60 million. Um, and then again, I won't say who the whales are, but a lot of people have been saying, like, hey, what's the best way to do this? And be a good buy, guys. The best way for me, the easiest way in America, of buying some Ethereum on Coinbase, moving that to Coinbase wallet, and then just swapping for OMI. Be advised that if you do more than like 10 grand at a time, it's going to pump the price a little bit. Like, if you do a 20 grand thing in one shot, if there's a big sell order on there, you'll just do a cross trade and you'll fill that, and that's fine. But if there's not a lot of sell orders, 20K can really pump it like 5-8%. So you do have to check that. Just do kind of have to be careful. Anyway, and you have Frank Saccone saying, "What up, fam? Spidey should be the opening act for you two at the Sphere." Thought that was really cool. People every day, I know not everyone's on Twitter that see the post. Some people are really only on the VV app, or vice versa. Some people don't really look at the VV feed, and they only look at what's on Twitter. And there's some obviously other issues that you can get into, but you have people posting everywhere. Facebook, I don't really see a lot of it on Instagram, but I do see on TikTok, Facebook, VV app, and Twitter. Those are kind of the main ones that I see. Shout out to Masiak Raxa, that has achieved level 60. Good for him. I'll be level 56 in like a week or whatever. But level 60 is pretty nice. The Cray Mountain had gone on and said, I got mint 1,000 of the ultra rare Ghost Rider. Now, that's not the Johnny Blaze ultra rare. That is, I forget which Ghost Rider that is. I think like it's his brother or something, his younger brother. Like, hell, not the oldest, just the best. Sorry, I have to go through a couple of these things. Something interesting happened with Anna. Anna was from Frozen. She's a secret rare. She was always like 70, $80. Sometimes she got up to 90. Her floor went up to 120 yesterday. I don't know what it is right now. I'll go and check, because I have one. I have a sub 100 of her. It's actually on sale. Um, but just every now and then, things just kind of pump. And now she's up to 133. I think I'm gonna have to change my order over here, because Her floor is $133, and I have number 74 for 250. That's less than 2x the price. Granted, there's a number 49 for 275. So if you were going to get a sub 100, like I wouldn't get mine for 250. I would get that sub 50 for that extra 25 gems. Like again, mine is at 250. I would not get mine because I would get Super Rushes, which is a sub 50 for only an extra $25 at 275. That's what I would do. And the next one after that is number 42 for 499. So I'm actually going to take mine off because if the, I mean, and now again, she's basically like doubled in like the last couple weeks. Is she going to keep going? Is people going to take some profit? Oh, maybe some people got her on mint for $40, or someone like I only paid $100 for mine for number 79, 74. So I don't really want to. I mean, I'm in the profit even if I floor it, which I won't do. But again, to have a secret rare sub 100 be less than 2x the floor is a little cheap. So like I said, I'm just going to go and take mine off right now, real quick. Remove listing. Yeah. All right. And then hopefully somebody buys that number 49, and then I'll list it above that at maybe like 300, give or take. Doing real work for my can't talk about that. But I will talk about this. You have Anthony. So just based on the title, you guys know Viviverse builder to show demos. So Cavernous is building the Viviverse. I really hope everybody knows that by this point. They're using combination. They're using a dual system where it's going to be. You could use Unreal Engine 5 or 5.1, 5.2, whatever they have, and then you're also going to be able to use Unity. So depending on what you want to do, depending on what's easier, what device you have, you can do either or. And Anthony Duca, who is co-founder and CEO of Cavernous, he had gone on and said yesterday, below his statement, no, I'm fully just bought Quest 3, no, 5 hours. Okay, so he says, I had the Apple Vision Pro on for 5 hours straight, doing real work, even a little coding up some demos we will show later this week. What is he showing later this week? I mean, if he goes on and he's the head of Cavernous, CEO and co-founder, and they're the ones that are building the Viviverse. Now, maybe he doesn't show what the Viviverse is. I mean, they're building a lot of things for a lot of different people. But if they want some hype, like Earth 2, the past week the past like year has been killing it with the hype. Oh, hang on one second. I have a super important message that I have to get to. For what? I just need to tell him what it's in regards to. I got him on speed dial. There's a buddy of mine that is sorry. Anyway, when you have Anthony Dugo on that, I'm very curious to see what else they're doing, even if it's not with Viviverse. But when I requoted that, and I'll go and I'll show you what it was that I requoted, retweeted, whatever that is. Demos, I have to talk about the dragons too. I didn't talk about that. And Perry and Boring. Where the heck is it? So I said, what demos are you showing off? And he had said, coming soon, and they will be interesting, I hope. So he kind of he kind of knows what I'm hinting at over there. And he had gone on and said, oh, hey, I'm doing that. What Earth 2 has been doing is they've been going and giving us little announcements. They have 7-minute video here, a 5-minute video there, 2 minutes there. They have one for skins recently that was really cool. Vivi doesn't have to show us a finished product. All they have to do is show us a 10-second clip of what the Viviverse is. Like, it doesn't even have to be anything new. We know Ron English's Delusionville is on its way. let's say in secret they're building, a Cryptkins metaverse. Okay, you don't have to show what you haven't announced. You can show something of Ron English's Delusionville. You can show something of others. I know they had Tales from the Reason. They have a bunch of user generated stuff that they're kind of promoting, which is great. That's fine. Talk up members of the community. That's giving back. That's good. But give us something from like the professionals. Give us something, and maybe that's what Anthony's showing. I don't know. But if they can go and do what Earth 2 has been doing, again, Earth 2 is 150,000 monthly. They have 10 times more monthly active users than Vivi has. We can easily get those numbers up. Hire me as community manager. Me and Fandom. I have to talk to David about that. There's a lot of stuff I have to talk about. Shoot. Okay. Anyway, moving on here. As long as my pictures load, and they're not loading. I'm not sure why. Why, God? Okay, here we are. Elmo. So Elmo has been making the news recently, going and saying, "Hey, everyone, how are you doing?" The flood of messages that Elmo got saying, "Elmo, I'm about to cry. Elmo, I'm almost at my wit's end." Um, Sesame Street had gone on and said, "Happy birthday to everyone's favorite little red friend, Elmo. We're smiling wide and laughing loud for you today." And VV Digital Collectibles responded saying, "Happy birthday, Elmo. Let's have a party with the rest of the gang at some point. We already have Big Bird, Cookie Monster, and Oscar the Grouch. I think Elmo will be a big one. I'm really hoping to get something with him. There's a really fun clip of him with Robin Williams, and he's like, it's a stick, Robin Williams. What can you do with a stick?" And he's like, "Well, Elmo," and he goes through a bunch of different things on what you can do with the stick, and it's cute. And at the end, Elmo's just like, "Thank you, Mr. Robbins." And then Robin Williams is like, "Mr. Robbins, I'm taking my stick back, Elmo." And then Elmo like kind of like hides under, what he's doing. He's like, "I only had 3 lines." That's like one of my favorite videos because I love Robin Williams. Love Elmo. I really hope we get him at some point. And I think Vivi's teasing that. Say that. Yeah, Makomi, Star Wars. All right, so Star Wars, they had made $111,000 in a couple minutes. I did not give any MCP points for that. I didn't get selected, so a bunch of people had MCP points they were selected for, and then a bunch of people had they just didn't, and they got picked. So that's something I'd really like to see, and they could do this type of thing over and over and over again. These are just scout troopers. These are not stormtroopers. These are not specialists. These are not what fives are. These are scout troopers. They're one particular type of trooper. They have multiple of those. Royal Guards are great. They're really fun. I think Sleeping Comics has 6 Royal Guards because he's a mad lad. But they have a bunch of different type of these generic bad guy villains that they could make them scarce. And like, oh, this is so good. Like, I think Manitoba, like, let's see how much Manitoban is. I'm very curious with this because this is a perfect example. Manitoban is $269. Now, I get it. Manitoban is very scarce. 488 editions, which means 398. Understood. Manitoban, the woman that plays her, apparently it's a her, she doesn't actually have a name. That's just the race of the people that they are. This was only in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Manitoban has never, ever been mentioned in any other piece of Star Wars media, video game, book. It doesn't matter. The fact that scarcity does something very strange to people on VV. $269 for that. And there was one that I tried to get yesterday. It was like 289 for a sub 100. It was like number 48, so it was a sub 50 of the Royal Guard. And I was like, okay, well, I missed that. And then I saw Luke Skywalker in ultra rare for 394. Like the floor for ultra rare Luke Skywalker was like 214. Ultra rare 394. Okay, I can get a sub 100 ultra rare for less than 2x the price of the floor. Done. if people go and they actually take a look, okay, yes, this is super scarce, but what's super popular? Oh my God, Luke is infinitely more popular than Manitoban. Um, or the Royal Guard. Again, Royal Guards are great. A lot of people are going to want one, but more people are likely going to want Luke than they are the Royal Guards, even though there's a lot more of Luke. And then thankfully, I messaged that person because I knew who it was. Like, hey, thanks for the Luke. He's like, well, I have a number 53 too. I was like, you couldn't start off with that. I would have totally got it. I didn't have enough for the second one, so I told a whale of mine. I was like, hey, this person for whatever reason is selling his stuff super cheap. Get this. He got it. And that's the other thing, guys. The amount of people that have been messaging me saying like, hey, between this or this, should I buy this or this and that? It has increased tenfold in the last month. There are always people every now and then like, hey, Randy, what should I get between this and this? Or when do you think the best time to? In the whales vocabulary, it has not, they seem to have lost the words, when is the best time to buy this? They do not ask that anymore. One of them does. One of them has, like, hey, do you think I should buy this now? But for the most part, it's just like, should I buy this or this? Or what should I buy? It's not when is the best time, because clearly all of the whales seem to have like one mind. You know how like in basketball, when a team's on fire, they all move like they have one mind, like they know what the other one's doing. It's this complex, um, what's it called, series of neurons. Whales are very, very similar. They think so much alike. Only one person has kind of had that foresight, like, when should I buy this for the timing? I don't think it's FOMO, because again, they're whales. They don't have that. They're more experienced. They're not that. I don't want to say weak-minded. They just don't really get FOMO the same way that the rest of people do. But in the last, like 6 months to a year, whatever. Hey, when do you think the bottom is? When should I buy this? Should I just buy OMI? Should I, whatever? Now all of the whales except for one question about one particular collectible of just, hey, should I buy this now? Or what do you think about this? The rest of them have just been, what should I buy? Or should I buy this or this? Or what is good right now? The question of like, when is the bottom, ain't there no more. Like that's not on anyone's minds. And not trying to time anything. It's just like, hey, we're ready. I see the trajectory in which we're moving. Give me the best of the best. The best of what you can find. And what I find is, usually very good. So that's really fun to see as well. And again, they could do that with Star Wars again and again and again. There are a lot of people that are using a bunch of MC this weekend. MCP points going to be burning like nobody's business. Why? So this is going to be a weird reference. Back in 1996, going way back for this one, 28 years ago, it was the St. Louis Cardinals. Cool Mo like that. I don't think he's watching. He was just on around the Comiverse. It was St. Louis Cardinals and the Atlanta Braves for the National League Championship Series, where the Braves fell behind 3 games to 1. If you don't know baseball, in the National League Championship Series, you have to win the best 4 out of 7, and the Cardinals were up 3 games to 1. Boom, yeah, they were ready. They were ready to kill it. And then what happened? Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine, 3 of the finest pitchers baseball has ever seen, all in a row. I think Cardinals scored like 1 run throughout those 3 games. They just had a powerhouse bullpen. Again, Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, and John Glavine, 3 in a row. Just boom, 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 boom. What do we have this weekend? Yeah, we have first appearance Norman Osborn. That's really cool. First appearance of the Owl. That's really cool on the 6th and the 8th. That's fine. But we have Year of the oh god, what did I do? Sorry. We have Year of the Dragon for Tokidoki. We have Year of the Dragon stamps, and we have Rabbids Year of the Dragon on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. And the New Year's is on the 10th, for Chinese New Year. So you have the 9th, New Year's Eve, you have the 10th, New Year, and then the 11th, just that day after that New Year. All of them was super, like the Year of the Dragon, literally the secret rare. It's oh wow, it's a 1 in 13 chance. I didn't think it was that much. This is going to sell out because it has 88 editions. Really 80 because Vivi keeps 8. But that's something that everyone's going for that. That's selling out immediately. Now, granted, that's only going to make them like 20 something thousand dollars, whatever. Year of the Dragon stamps. I have all of these. I don't know how to tell you all this. The Chinese zodiac originally was meant as a timekeeping table of tens and twelves. There is the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac, and then in the story you have the cat. In the story you have God telling all of the animals, giving them invitations to a banquet that is going to happen the next day. The rat rides. The rat tells the cat that the banquet's going to be the day after tomorrow, and after the rat rides on the ox's back to the banquet, um, the 12 animals enjoy the banquet with God, and the cat is dreaming of a banquet that'll never come. So the cat is not in the Chinese zodiac, and the ox is kind of stupid because of the story, and people born in the year of the rat are special. But the year of the dragon, like Chinese Asian people in general are generally very superstitious. That's a very good. Like they literally had to change a building in Las Vegas because they had to walk in to a casino like with the cat facing them, and it was like they had to go in like the cat's crotch, and they had to change it because the Chinese people wouldn't walk in that specific way because it was bad luck. Like, nope, bad luck, not going to that casino. They literally had to change the architecture of the building because of the Asian people's superstitions. So these things, I know they might not seem big now. Chavez is a stamp. Stamps don't do that well. I get it. I understand. There are not a lot of those secret rare stamps for the Chinese zodiac. I I don't have a ton of stuff on my body, but I was born the year of the horse. I have that on my body. I have Nintendo. All that's one sleeve, and then I have that that is important to many people, not just Asians. Um, I don't get things on me that are meaningless, and I don't get things on me that like nobody else would understand. Uh, that is going to be a bigger deal than some of y'all realize, even though, again, just a stamp. But let's take a look at some of the other stamps. And I know I talked for 32 minutes already. I swear I don't like to hear myself talk. I get off on these tangents. All right. Let's just take a look at some of the other stamps that we have and see what they're like. Okay, Year of the Rabbit. I think the uncommons are like $2. They're like nothing. Let's just check just to make sure. The $2.14. But then take a look at the secret rare, which has 888 of them. These are $36. I could have sworn these would be like 80. Okay, maybe I'm mistaken because some of these are stupid cheap at $36. Let's do the other ones. The New Year panels. Yeah, the secret rare there. I think that one's secret rare. The Year of the Rat. Again, people born in the Year of the Rat are special. The book of stamps is 55. Okay, so these aren't as you might have to disregard the last couple things that I had said for now. And then you have the rabbits. Again, they're really, really pushing for this Chinese New Year stuff. I don't know why. Why are they pushing for that? Maybe because they're doing stuff with Asia later this year. I don't know. This is a one and done thing. These will 100% be bought. I don't think people are going to spend a ton of MCP points on this. But it is only 25 gems. There's only 1,600 of these bad boys. Again, I don't know if people will really spend any MCP points on that. They're definitely going to do it for Year of the Dragon. Yeah. Anywho, let's go on to some other stuff before I. 5,000 point people. A lot of people are they're bidding over minimum, but like not by a lot. It's like 5,077, 6,000. Bruce Clark Kent bought 10,001. A lot of people on Star Wars, literally like 10% of people put in 10,000 MCP points that they were betting or more for that. 6,000. Sleeping bought 6 of those. Not gonna go over there. Charles Delgado posts over on the Twitter saying both about the same price, talking about Scout Trooper and Elsa, not first appearance Elsa. Which ones would you stack? So I said this as I listened. You have Elsa is not a first appearance, which is fine, but for a lot of kids, I mean, there's right now most people on this app that watch me are like late 30s, early 40s, and that's like peak Star Wars. You know that there's going to be a lot of those. But be advised, there's going to be a heck ton of a lot more troopers. That is not the only trooper we're going to get. Now you might have to wait a year and a half, or you might only wait a couple months until May to get more troopers. But there's going to be more troopers. There's going to be droids. There's going to be battle droids. There's going to be destroyers. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. And then for Elsa, we already have 3 Elsas on there. 4 if you count the poster. But there's a lot, like who's not here right now? You have 34-year-olds. There are not a lot of 18 to 24-year-olds here. And why I say that is because people who watched Elsa and loved and grew up with her, they're likely 20 years old. Maybe they were 10 when Frozen came out in December of 2013. So let's say 2014. Maybe they're 20 years old now, late teens, early 20s. They don't have a lot of money, they don't have whatever, but they might pay $50 for an Elsa. And that it might be a little too early to stack, but then you have a bunch of people that come in that might have kids around that age. Daddy, can you get this for me? Okay, like most of my friends that have kids, they feel like an ATM because like, oh yeah, kid only wants to come at me when he wants $20 for Roblox bucks, or something on like the VV app. So this is I don't know which is the best. I told him short term probably the Scout Trooper, and a little bit like midterm, like a couple of years, probably gonna be Elsa. But crypto markets sometimes don't make sense. Web3 markets sometimes don't make sense, and it could be either or. They're both good, I think. Technology, going over there. Leadership. What do I say with this? Okay, no, that's good. Awaiting. I'm not gonna go over you. For you. I have said this before. I went and posted this to a friend's group chat that we're in. We were just talking about the price of OMI, and I had mentioned something that I've talked about before on a stream about a month ago with Dr. Stuff and Crypto Rain. I was the most bearish one, saying that we'll get to 1 to 1.2 cents by the end of the year. Dr. Stuff said I think we can get from there minimum maybe up to 3 cents. Crypto Rain's like, you're both wrong, 5 cents by the end of this year. I think that's a lot, but we'll see. And then you have the modern investor. Modern investor has 233,000 subscribers on Twitter. Maybe about a tenth of that, maybe like 30,000, or I'm sorry, 233,000 subscribers on YouTube, maybe about 30,000 over on Twitter, who had said last week, people are going to freak out when OMI hits 30 cents. It'll be a fun day. Now, he didn't go and say that'll happen this year. It's definitely not going to happen this year, most likely. At the peak, I think it could reach that, and it could potentially reach higher. I don't think that is something that, like, if you say, Chavez, how much do you want to bet that we'll get to 30 cents at the peak? I'll bet you $20. Like it's not a lot. Like I don't have a ton of confidence it'll get there. Like I would say most likely we don't get there. 95% chance we don't get there, but 1 out of 20 chance in getting there is really not that. It's not that bad. That is well within the realm of possibility. Anyway, freaking out. So there's a friend of mine that was playing Super Smash Brothers, and Super Smash Brothers you can play online, play with friends. And there's somebody that was playing as Luigi, and what is his name? Omi the homie. Omi the homie was playing Super Smash Brothers. Thought that was great. Thought that was grand. I don't know who that is. This, okay, ain't gonna go there. All right, I think that's this is the way. All right, I'm gonna start. Thank you for being patient. I'm gonna go on the comments now. What says we'll take a lot for Omi to get to 1 cent. Well, yes, like VV is going to like they can't not roll out anything and still get there most likely. They will have to go and roll out Omi utility, at least in the form of bronze tickets. I'm hoping Omi to NFT and Omi to bronze tickets definitely. Do they need to roll out Omi to gem for us to get to 1 cent? I don't know. It depends on the demand for MCP points uh, for for accessories or whatever, and demand depends on the demand for bronze tickets. The demand in general for the token. Um, Omi to NFT, obviously people use, but that's not really going to burn Omi. The burning will come from the bronze tickets and accessories, and then it's really going to come from Omi to gem. If Omi to gem comes out before the end of the year, then yeah, 100%. Again, it might not. Depends when the narrative hits. But that's stuff that we know is coming. We know Omi to NFT, and we know accessibility of the token is going to be a lot easier, along with creating more demand with bronze tickets and stuff. Um, so we know that's coming. It's not like Omi has to or VV and Akomi have to build from scratch. Okay, here's what we need. We have to do this by the end of the year. These things have been planned for like years now. Some of it not as long, but guys, that VV and Akomi have stuff planned out literally years in advance. So for this, they do have to deliver on certain things for us to hit that. But I don't want to say that it's guaranteed, but they're rolling out what they've spoken of, in the last couple of articles, and they're rolling out a couple of things that they haven't spoken of in the last couple of articles that really no one's gonna know. Pilgar's his first like, baby. Across a second. What's his first comment? Was he first like? Let's freaking get this bread. Let's go. Baby, haven't told you lately. And Wes should have clicked that like button. He should have. Mo Collecting says, yo, what up, Mo? Says, just finished watching a Comeyverse. Get that bread. Sorry I couldn't make it. I was very busy doing stuff. Potsy Weber, give me that super chat. Thank you so much. Still hot 25 million. Meetup. Yeah, we're gonna have to go and get more. We're gonna have to get you some more on me there. I'm gonna make you do it. Um, VV logo holders. Mr. MC1 is commissioning the same VV gold logo hat with mint number. Those did not get it in New York Comic Con. We see the Telegram group, open for easy to find. Please pass the word international logo holders in your countries. Good for you, Sanjay. He's just the man. I love him. He's a good dude. He's good people. The Hair Father tagged me in an NFT. Thing Omi pumps be like. He's so funny. David Hughes hairline is so funny. I love him. Before I move on from these amazing super chats here by the amazing Popsy Weber that we love, I should get him on the podcast. He's a good dude. I'm gonna go and ask y'all to smash that like button. The free way to help support the channel. The non-free ways, but liking is caring. Omar says, "Hey Randy and Dashy, what's up, Omar? How's it going, fam? All chat games straight by." It says, "I bet we go back to 0005 because VV will have delays per usual." Well, they could very well have delays, but we'll never know about it. I'll tell you this, all right, we have Omi to bronze ticket, or we have Omi staking for bronze tickets, and we got that in January. Do you think that that's the only thing that was planned for? I guarantee you there was more planned to roll out on January 1st, but they just didn't finish it in time. And because they didn't set a timeline, there wasn't a lot of FUD about it. Now, again, they rolled out the article telling us about season 2 rewards. It's going to start on April 1st, only to NFT and other stuff. They did not give us a timeline. So even if they said it's going to roll out in March or it's going to roll in April, they didn't give us timelines on it. So even if it does delay, we're not going to know. So yes, they could very well have delays on things that they set internal goals for, but we'll never know it, which is good. Sleeping says, Randy, oh my God, Sleeping, I love you so much. And anyone, I don't, does anyone love Sleeping more than me? I don't think so. Oh, I also have something to say. Let me go and take this number grail. I am going to do oh, I don't know which group of messages this is in. I'm going to do an OMI giveaway. And the OMI giveaway, oh, I really don't know which group of messages this is in. Okay, yeah. I don't exactly know how much I'll give away. I might give away 1,000,000 OMI. It's going to be over a certain amount of time. It won't be all at once. It's not going to be like one person gets 1,000,000. Like a lot of people are going to get small amounts, and you can enter as many times as you want. I will start doing giveaways once they're able to go do transfers as well. Like that'll be a semi-regular thing. But I am, but the giveaway again, I'm not sure how I'll do it, but it'll be a post watching this minute video. It'll be a good giveaway. Again, it'll be about 1,000,000 OMI. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll keep y'all posted. Crazy Dan 420, thank you for being a member. Same as US. I am not Groot. So Garner says floors be rising. They are. A lot of the floors are going up, and it's subtle right now. It's not like, oh my God, this is pumping so huge. It's FOMO. It's like, oh, little by little, that things are going up. Mo Collection says, is Andre Jit going to talk about Vivi again with all the Apple Vision Pro hype? So when I was talking with the Dogecoin millionaire, pro the Doge, Slum Doge, um, he's friends with Andre, and he had mentioned, it's like, hey, me and Andre both have a lot of money in OMI, and some in Vivi, and I know Pro's getting back. Like Pro is dollar cost averaging, or he will if he hasn't yet, but he is. Andre, I'm not sure. Last I heard, he had his bag, and he's not going to dollar cost average anymore. I think it would definitely behoove him to dollar cost average down here. We'll see. I'll see if I can get him on the phone. I'll let you guys know. I don't think. Yes, he does. He never sold. Will Garner says Earth 2. Yeah, dude, Earth 2's been killing it. Earth 2's been going absolutely bananas, and Vivi could learn a couple things by watching Earth 2. As far as my bro's looking like Wolverine, I need to shave this down there. Thanks, Lester. Jordan Reese says, "Yo, Randy, what up, Jordan? How good is the cat? I think the cat is the awesome. That doesn't make sense. The cat is really good. They just launched their comic. We launched that about like 2-3 days ago, and then we also just launched a burn where they burned about 3.4% of the circulating supply, which is amazing. So again, you have the cat comic that just came out. We just launched that, and then they have the burn that just happened today. You have some things that are really really progressing. Don't mind I tag you an X earlier. I be advised, I don't get every tag just because there's an infinite amount of notifications. It's not like I just don't get them all. There's some I just don't see. You can, I mean, don't tag me in like 10 posts a day, but if you tag me in something once in a while, that's fine. Um, I see a lot of people do that. They'll tag me, and they'll tag like 8 others of just like prominent members, and then it's just like I'll get the notification because the other people they tagged are commenting. So I'll get like 18 notifications for the same thing. And it's like, okay, I gotta mute this person because like they keep tagging me and like all the other prominent influencers in the tag, and everyone just kept like, oh, I can't do this. So I don't get some of those tags, which is fine. But if you tag me once in a while, that's cool. Like as long as you're not tagging me, and there was somebody that used to tag me and a bunch of others in multiple posts per day. I was like, okay, first I'm just gonna mute this person. So it's like I couldn't. It was, oh my God. Again, if you want to go and tag someone, that's fine, more than fine. Just don't do it in multiple posts per day, please. And again, it's not. I mean, not that I find it annoying, which I would. But it's just that I just won't get if I get too many notifications for it. I just um I feel like I'm kind of complaining about it. I'm trying not to because I'm very thankful that people think of me important enough to go and tag me in certain things. But if you do it once in a while, that's fine. It's fine. Most times it's legit. So I'm into two Royal Guards, 80 and 80, 85. Nice. Found a matching Scout 85, which is fun. Sold number 80 for 190. Someone offered me my mint 156, my Ultra Vader mint. Um, Matching ones are cool. Um, I because it is hard to match. I mean, well, I wouldn't say it's every now and then you just be like, oh, okay, these things match, and you could buy all of them, and that's fine. And there are some things that take longer. You get 2 out of 3, or you get 1 out of 2, whatever it is. Generally, it's not that hard to find random matching mints. But if you have like let's say Tina and Rudy have the matching uh Miles Morales number 43s, like, oh my God, that is just absolutely insane. Or I have like the number 43 Luke's or the number 41 logos. Or Clever Jerk has the number 66 Vader. Clever Jerk's number 66 Vaders. I think he has like the number 501 Luke's. No, he can't have. Oh, maybe he does. He just has the most incredible matching mints ever. And granted, Star Wars fans and whales are going to want those, and they'll he could charge probably 3x what he paid for it, and it'd be fine. But be advised, you do need those buyers. Those buyers are definitely out there, but not all of them are available at the same time. Even sometimes none of them are available at the same time. So matching mints can be good for people that want those. Like, okay, cool, they're all here, and they'll add a little bit of a premium. But in general, a lot of things won't get that premium unless it's incredibly hard to do, or it's one of those things that's like worth it, um, like super worth it. Like, what's the difference between a number 67 and like 71 matching mints? Really not much. But what's the difference between a number, 97 matching mints versus like, the number 501s? One is just a random sub 100. The other, that 501, 500, like that's so generally I matching mints does give it a little bit of a premium. Does it give it an insane amount premium? Usually not. But I don't know what like the taxes. I don't know what it is. Does it give it an added 20%, 80%, 50%? I don't know what that is. And again, even if I say it's not worth something, it might not. It will be for someone else. Or if I say like, oh, this is really good, maybe most others wouldn't see that. But it really depends on the eye of the beholder. But is how good is the cat comic? Were you as pumped as I am for episode 2? It's a good intro. It lets you see, and I really hope we can work in. I think we're going to work in flashbacks because you really only get to see Catopia in. Well, I won't give it away, but you only get to see Catopia one way for only a certain amount of time, and then suddenly you're seeing Catopia in this all new different way. And I just really hope that we can go and view Catopia that one certain way that we can only see it for a certain amount of time. I hope that in the future we're able to work in flashbacks. I don't want to say that it's going to be like a Christopher Nolan film and we're shooting the Nolan ray. Oh, flashback, flashback. He's a boy. He's a man. He's a boy. Like. But I do hope we're able to go and do it for good reasons. And then yeah, that. But outside of that, it gave us one way, throws us right into some stuff, and then it ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Who is that? What's going to happen? What are you know? I am very excited. I can't wait to see I can't wait to show y'all what's coming next. It says the cat has 4,200 trading volumes. Oh damn! And is back to launch price of 90% down on Grumpy. It's the dead. No, it's not. It's got like 1 million market cap right now, which is I don't know. I don't know what it launched at, but literally like Grumpy Cat had about like 1 million, 1.1 million. And then whatever this launched at, the cat did get up to like 2 million, but 92% down on. When you say that, I mean, Grumpy Cat when it launched originally, it was much less than $1 million market cap. It pumped all the way to 30, came back down. But even if we go from the highs of the cat, which was at about 2 million, it's about down like 48, 50% from there, but it's not down 92% from that. And again, there's a there's a bunch of people that have OMI, like big OMI whales that have bought the cat, like a bunch. Jason Pena says Bruce Lee was born in the year of the dragon. That's true, he was. But he says, "So big A, please take a screenshot of your comment." I screen cap that. How many MCP points should we bid on Dragon? Well, I've never bid MCP points yet. I will bid the. That's hard because again, it's if this was like, let's say if it didn't have 80, if it just had 200, I would bid like 10,000 MCP points. I'd bid 50, I'd bid 20,000 because one or 200 is a lot. But even if you get selected, you're likely only going to get the ultra rare or whatever that is, which is fine. But what are you willing to gamble on this? I probably should bid 10,000 only collect MCP points on this because I'm not going to bid, or I'm not going to use my MCP points for a lot. Like I'm not. I'm mostly going to hodl those MCP points for like the really, really good stuff. But for this, I'll probably put up 10,000. It might change. I'll keep y'all posted. I'll probably go live for that. Go my comment June 20th, 90 minutes of vid, or said Grumpy would fail. This was IP theft. So there's nobody sue, and we're hiring a top patent lawyer. How'd that work out? So there is, we did have that top IP lawyer, and I mean, there was really nothing to stop us from freely keeping on with Grumpy Cat. It was just, when push comes to shove. All right, let's say this, like back in like, I don't know, like 07, 08, Ron Paul is running for he's running for president, and he brings up a point of losing X amount of, I think it was like losing like 5,000 American military in Iraq and Afghanistan is not a fair trade-off for the hundreds of thousands, Iraqi and Afghani people that have been killed or displaced, or millions, it's not a fair trade-off, even if we're still trying to make up for the 3,000 plus that died on 9/11. Like how long do you have to do this just to save face? How long do you have to keep being in these areas just to save face, to say that we didn't make the wrong decision? So we could, I don't know, 5 figures were spent on the lawyer and everything, and which is fine. We had every right to go and keep with Grumpy Cat if we wanted, but it's just, how long are we going to do that just to do it? Whereas, hey, it would be a lot easier, and we could save a lot more money, and as a community and as devs, we can go in and be like, okay, we can rework a bunch of these efforts, a bunch of these, where this money going to, you allocate that capital in a more positive way, and in which case you can go on, and we decided to do it as the cat, because even though we were able to do it as Grumpy, still it's just that one, what was it called, that one account on X would just go and lie and say like, we're a scam or rug pull, they're scam artists, and obviously that's not true, but there's no, how long are we going to be like tied up in court for that, and then like trying to countersue, like it's going to be it was much easier, and again, better capital allocation in order to do it the way that we're doing it. So just, again, food for thought. Use MCP points to climb the ranks even slower. Yeah, you do climb the rank slow. Like, it doesn't change your rank. You're still a master collector, even if you have no points, because you're still, as long as you're getting 800 points a day, give or take, 850, whatever it is, you're still a master collector, even if you have no points saved up. But if you're, let's say you're like me, level 55, 850,000, 800, however many points that is. If I go and I use X amount of my points, I'm no longer level 55. I would drop down, or maybe I stay there for super long until I make those points up, whatever that is. So yes. And it says there have been a couple of defunct NFT projects. David made mention of allowing failed projects, collectibles in the Viviverse. Is there an update of that upgrade capability? Oh, you mean like, okay, let's say like Recur failed. Are we going to host Recur collectible NFTs? I don't know. I think eventually, but I do not think that is top priority. I don't know how they would do that. I'll take a picture of this and we'll figure it out, but I'm not sure. Okay. So it was called Gummy Cat. Everything was kosher, and look what happened. So again, it's still fine. Again, it would have been fine. We could have still kept doing that, but again, it's just better for the community. It's better for everyone if we do this, which we did. And again, people will see. There's a lot more coming. Opinion project. No, Wes he had Grumpy or Deca. I don't know if he sold or not. Chago sold. This is Randy. Yo, what up, Chago? People say only hit 30 cents this run are either delusional or don't understand market caps. No, modern investor is very, very bright. He's very intelligent. So he's definitely not delusional, and he definitely understands market caps. It's just what happens is most people in crypto do not understand market caps. So when people are buying, they don't look at what the market cap is. They just look at the price, and it's like, oh, okay, well, it can go to this, it can go to that, and I'm just okay, yes, I guess it could go to this, but it should not go to this. And then what winds up happening? It goes to that. Like a lot of things in crypto just really don't make sense, and you definitely should use logic as your base argument. Hey, here's where things should go. I think OMI should go to 8 to 10 cents. Where will it go? Nobody knows. Again, things do not happen logically in crypto world, at least not yet. Maybe this is going to be a freaking huge, like, unless you have World War III, which yeah, it's possible. Probably not. I would give World War III a 1% chance of happening. Will there be new wars? There's always new wars. Will there be new wars that America's involved in? Maybe. Maybe that happens with Iran. Um, will there be new proxy wars that U.S. is involved in? Yeah, sure, that's fine. They're always involved in those. Actual wars that yeah. I mean, I don't want to say it's time. It's just in general, America is mostly at war. In general, most of American history, they're in one war or another. That's just the way it goes. Um, so outside of a World War III, which is likely not going to happen, there's really no reason why this bull run shouldn't absolutely pop off like no one's business, especially now that the ETFs are in and yeah. But again, the people that say like 30 cents again, like me, I don't think it should go there at all. But is there a possibility? Yes, that's in my golden goose case scenario. Most odds are, smart money says that it won't. I would not bet that we go there, but to say that it's like impossible or delusional, that is wrong. That is importantly wrong because it definitely can. Again, percentage wise, I'd put it at like 5%. Lagar says, looks like I'm getting two hats. Get that bread. Premium Digital Dope says, cheers, Randy Chavez. Oh, thank you, senor. Oh, does Viviverse have a collectibles max limit allowance? Yes and no. There's likely going to be limits on how much. I mean, Viviverse will like, yeah, put in as much as you want, but there will likely be limits that like, oh, you can put up, 800 collectibles before it glitches out. Like again, even stuff like Skyrim, you can make like 8,000 wheels of cheese, or there's a certain amount of wheels of cheese you can put into a house before it can't process that fast enough and it glitches out. So again, even something as amazing and epic as Skyrim, it is still a piece of electronic equipment. It is still just data computers. Like it's going to have its limits. So are you going to be able to put all your 10,000 collectibles in? No, probably not. Um, there's going to be other things that, but it's up to us to test those limits. Like it's going to be fun. Earth 2 is about to hit 1 million views on the Mad World video. Oh, that's what we like to see. Earth 2 to the moon. They hit one to the moon. It says, have your highly favored collectibles positions changed? If so, which collectibles have you went bearish on? Um, so I remember like a month ago, the gold and silver VV logo version 2, that one was at like $900, and I tried to sell it for like $800, and trying to undercut the floor a little bit. And I was like, "Yo, Randy, you're bullish on the gold and silver logo. Why are you selling?" I was like, "Well, this is the gold and silver logo version 2, not the first one, and I'm selling because you have an event coming up in France, and in that France event, people are going to be given gold and silver logo. They're going to redeem the version 2. There's other people that already have logos that are going to redeem this. This is going to drop. You are going to be able to get this for much cheaper right after the event." And what happened? It went down to like $450. I don't know what it is right now. I will check for you right now because I ain't no liar. We'll go and we'll check it and we'll see what it is. It is now currently at $525. So it went down like $400, went down like $500 at one point. So, but that's like, this is likely one of its lows. Something else that I mean, again, time, if it's not a top IP, time is going to be your best friend when going to buy things that are cheap. So if I go to Matt Gondek stuff, right? The Big Trouble, that black and white Homer, that went for $7,800 at first because someone had FOMO and they sold or they bought, and I think somebody else bought it like 5,400. People don't realize that once the people that are hodling right now get those physical homers, decent percentage of these guys are going to go and they're going to be like, nope. And they're going to sell. They got their physical, they'll sell the physical, they'll sell this. So now the floor is at 3,100, 3,200, sorry, 3,199. This likely goes a little lower. And I know these are, there's 16 of them, because VV keeps, out of the 20 editions, I think VV kept 4. So these have 16 of them. These are very scarce. This might go for a bit lower than 30. Like when after those, collectibles go and they're giving out the physical ones and sell the physical, they'll sell this. All you need is 1 or 2 people just go try and dethrone this guy for the lowest, and you could possibly get one for like 2K maybe. Now, obviously, at 2K, you can get partner statue, you can get 2 Risos, you can get 3 Todds. If you want to get this one, is for the scarcity. Actually, I have a buddy of mine that was inquiring about this. I told him to wait because, again, these are stupid. These are going to go down probably even further. So it's not that I'm bearish on it. Like long term, it's probably going to be good, but just short term, kind of not. We were talking on the phone. I think when we were talking on the phone, that's when it was like 3,700 or something. And then I don't know this. Okay, flip. Yeah, flip that. Have 20 updated. Okay, yeah, I have to go talk to him about that. Anything else that I'm bearish on? Not. I mean, things that I think are are differently valued than I would put them at is a lot of things are undervalued. There's not a ton of things that are overvalued. I think that I'm trying to think of things that are overvalued that you should sell right now, and I just can't. I really don't have it. But usually, when things come out, it's like the first hour or two that people kind of FOMO in. So yeah. All right, hey Randy, what is the advantage of buying gems with OMI versus buying with a credit card on the web app? Discount gems to encourage using OMI. Um, no, I think the advantage would be if you kind of not you want to avoid paying tax, but I mean, if you let's say you have 10 grand in the bank and you have 20K worth of OMI and you want something on Vivi, well, it would be a lot easier or it'd be a lot better for you to go and burn your OMI for those gems. Because if you sell that OMI in your bank account, you have to go and pay capital gains tax on that. If you burn it, although you are swapping it, I don't know how that's going to work. You might have to ask an accountant for that because I don't know if they're going to value that as another asset or like an alternative asset. You'd have to ask I have to get clarity on this. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work with taxes. I'll keep you up posted. Was Underdick got wrecked by OMI? That's inclusive of his level. Get wrecked like that. Not good for OMI advertising. I mean, you only get wrecked on something if you lock in those losses. And because he hasn't locked in that loss, because he has, held and will continue to hold, and hopefully, if I'll talk to him and see if I can get him to buy more, because that's going to be better for him. Um, that's arguably what you want. That's what you want to do. But again, because he hasn't locked in those losses, I wouldn't really consider that wrecked. I would just be like, okay, the portfolio's down, but that they are paper losses right now. Probably decent. What's up, Brandy? MCP will be so valuable in the future to help gain that advantage over others. You keep averaging into OMI while I keep averaging to MTC and collectibles. It's going to be good for both of us. We're both going to be really happy. Oh, okay, so ha ha ha. Nah, once in a blue moon on the tag. Don't worry. Thanks, man. Mm-hmm. Was Sergio is a pathological tagger? I'm sure he is. Well, no, so I completed the trifecta: 970 Scout, Imperial, and Scout Bike. Epic. Good stuff, Amos. I completed the trifecta. Yeah. Oh, 790. Okay. Ready for the Viviverse. Get that bread. Double C says matching mints is crapshoot. Only good if Vivi allows completed sets to be sold. They should at some point. I don't see why not. Was that almost hitting 30 this run? Hype train all the way, yo, hype train. Almost says, I just want to ride my 790 Scout on the 790 bike in the Viviverse. I think you'll be able to. I'm not sure when, but I think. Bill Gardner says the average FOMO buyer does not care about market cap. Agreed. But it was a good point. Only match I have is a black and blue Todd. I grab the Royal Guard 156, my Ultra Vader, only due to it being not much more than the floor. And on 2 Royal Guards is neat, but 156 really isn't special. Yeah, fair. Fair. Royal Guards is scarce enough to make them do something. There's just going to be so much content, Star Wars content on that one day. We'll see. We'll see. Nice on the trifecta. Don't think an 885 is meant to get on the bike. Oh yeah, because the bike didn't sell out yet. That's true. It's true. Good point. Okay, that looks like that's it for the show. Thank you guys for being with me. That means a lot. If y'all can please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow. All right. Thanks for the super chats. I love you guys. Anna's starting to move up, dude. I literally I delisted my Anna because Anna was at like 213 or something. No, not 213. Anna was at like 130. And I had to go and remove her because mine was up for like 250. I have a sub 100 that was listed for 250, which is less than 2x the floor. So I had to remove it. And then oh shoot, did somebody buy? Oh no, the 275 is still there. Yeah, the cheapest sub 100 is 275. It's just barely, and it's a sub 50. It's barely less than 2x the floor. If that sells, I'll put mine up for like 300, give or take. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.